Archangel Uriel, no celestial object will hit Earth. Via Christine Preston. August 28, 2016. Website, Galactic Federation of Light.wordpress.com. Produced by Higher Self.
Christine, greetings Lightworkers. I have received a dictation from Archangel Uriel on the very important matter of the Fatima prophecy, so I will give you an introduction on this subject. I have received this message by telepathic communication to confirm that the asteroid 2016 story that Andre, my ascended twin flame, told me, is related to the Fatima prophecy. In this message, he said he landed upon it and it was deflected from its trajectory by galactic fleets using tractor beams. He had given me the announcement in a very solemn manner, sounding as if he was relieved, because the disaster of a collision of a celestial body with Earth has been avoided. He had indicated it was the main eschatological disaster that still hanged as a dark cloud over mankind's future. What he had also indicated by thought transmission images, and impressions, rather than words, was that this was not one of the many asteroids that have been detected by NASA or astronomers, but one that represented a serious threat, in parallel to the one that supposedly hit Earth 65 million years ago and wiped out the reptilian and dinosaur species from its surface. Archangel Michael is one of those beings who have gone from the future, or outside of time, and from the higher dimensions back to the past, and into embodiments of a higher physicality than ours, to the present, in order to change the timelines and alter future history. With the video entitled The Prophecy, you will appreciate the context of millions of years of galactic wars in which the Earth played a central role for the fulfillment of the divine plan. The latter included raising the vibrations of the physical world by the Ascension Project. In my introduction to Ascension, I explained that gloom and doom were expected because the Mayas ended their calendar with the year 2012. The Kakana prophecies of the Indians involve a red, as well as a blue star. Previous messages have indicated that the blue star is Sirius and that it will become visible because the solar system is approaching it. But the red Kakana is believed to be the harbinger of doom. Some researchers think that the red Kakana is the Nibiru Sitchin's interpretations of Sumerian texts or signs. It would have destroyed the planet Tiamat, which we call Moloch, and the term Tiamat is mentioned in Genesis 1, but translated as the deep. In the Babylonian myth, which is more recent than the Sumerian one, it is Marduk, a divine being who fights Tiamat, the demonic one, and this is correct as the evolutions of Moloch became demonic, but it is Nibiru which is normally associated with the Anunnaki, Sumerian gods. Sheldon Idle has referred to it as the battle planet, perhaps because the Galactic Federation of Light used it to regain control when Moloch was a headquarters for the reptilian species which had invaded the solar system. At that time there existed on Earth a first colony of galactic beings who created a civilization called Hibernia which was decimated. Now we have heard that 1/3 of the souls of Moloch were made to reincarnate upon Earth during the Lemurian era, and that they recreated their civilization, as well as caused the downfall of the Atlantean civilization. After a period during which they were chained in the bottomless pit, or astral realms, they were allowed to reincarnate, and this was about 8,400 years. It was to give them a second chance. Please refer to the videos by Mother Mary and Saint Germain in relation to the reason for which Archangel Michael created his sword of blue flame, and these laggards of Moloch were cast upon Earth. Karma needed to be balanced at the end of the last cycle of 26,000 years, and prophecies have often been given as warnings so people would change and reform themselves into the ways of righteousness. So it has been said that prophecies can be warnings and they are not set in stone. Such a warning seems to have been given to mankind through the children to whom Mother Mary appeared at Fatima, Portugal, in 1917. There has been many Marian apparitions, for instance to a girl called Bernadette at Lourdes, France. But here in Portugal, the Archangel Mother Mary was called Lady Fatima. There were at least 3 parts to the message that she gave to the children, and they had an ability of clairvoyance and telepathic communication, or thought transmission, which is used in channeling but was not known as such at the time. Mother Mary had appeared to them and told them to come again on a particular date in 1917. The full details are in videos that you can easily find on YouTube. A massive crowd came to observe the supernatural phenomenon on that day in 1917, and there is photographic evidence of this. They thought they saw the sun moving and dancing as it was recorded, but it obviously was a most extraordinary UFO sighting that the media would report as such if this happened today. The message that is in 3 parts was handed over to the Vatican, which promised to reveal them to the world by 1960, but never did. The Vatican continued the cover-up of the Fatima prophecies, and the forces of evil increased their grip during the following decades. They were finally leaked. The 3rd message is about a comet, an apocalyptic vision of collision. Then there is rumor that Pope Francis is preparing to leave Rome when the comet becomes visible in December 2016. We now know that it will pass Earth in 2017, and here we are in 2016 with a world that is in greater political chaos than in 1960. And there has been a dark opposition to the manifestation of the Golden Age of Saint Germain. However, there also are many prophecies in relation to the presidential elections, including one given by Mighty Victory through the messenger David C. Lewis in Montana. Victory has announced that she will enter the political scene of the planet when the work of casting the votes takes place, and will be present for God's fulfillment of the prophecies in relation to the election of a president who will restore the prosperity of America. The World Mother has also stated in a previous message that she has come with a ruby rate to dethrone the establishment that was symbolized as Babylon in the Book of Revelation.
Archangel Uriel, dear ones, about this matter of the Fatima prophecy, I am the emissary for this instead of Mother Mary, who was the Lady of Fatima. As she is otherwise engaged at the moment, we are in the middle of an operation to clear the earth of some very adverse powers that have prevented some of the light workers from receiving messages due to their attacks upon them. But you have been able to continue receiving them because you have mastered a technique that allows you to identify these forces when they carry out an imposture of the masters or archangels. We will deliver the world from the anarchy of the fallen angels. We call them angels by tradition, but they never were angels. These dark forces that have corrupted the systems on Earth are renegades from the planet Molech that were cast on Earth to give them a chance to reform. But they are recalcitrant and will not pass. We will not allow their destructive activities for very much longer. They cannot be allowed to continue because of the changes which are to take place very soon. We will be delivering the planet from its entanglement with these dark ones and lead it to a new age of enlightenment. And that is my speciality, as I am the Archangel Uriel who brings to you illumination and enlightenment with my ray and my flame that is of a golden pink color. I am of the 6th ray that is the power of God for ministration and service. I work with the Master Jesus too, to bring about the resurrection for the beings of this earth from the consciousness of mortality, which is a state of mind, or mentality. You need to evolve to a state of consciousness that will bring you the blessings of an immortal existence. In passing, I would like to point out that I work with Lady Master Nada, but she is not the higher self of Lady Magda, the ascended Jesus Christ's twin flame or divine complement, who was Mary Magdalene. I also need to clarify that the name Sananda, or Chananda, is of an Eastern Sanskrit origin for the universal, or cosmic Christ consciousness. It has been adopted in the Western spiritual circles to refer to the higher self of Jesus Christ. But the latter is fully integrated with his higher self, and the Lady Nada who is on the karmic board is not the same as the ascended Lady Master Magda. A mistake of identification has been made in some channeling circles in ignorance of the knowledge passed on in previous decades by the ascended masters, with regard to the Fatima prophecy, and more exactly what has been called its 3rd message, the one that the Vatican did not disclose. It is true that it was a revelation from Mother Mary to the Fatima children concerning a calamity due to the earth if its population did not reform to the righteous path. We have heard prayers to keep you, the light bearers and mankind safe and secure, and for the eradication of all that represents a fall into darkness, or going astray from the path of ascension. We have been acting upon your prayers and decrees for decades. The bulk of mankind, the people, have progressed and advanced greatly upon that path despite the outwardly appearance. I mean that if you look at the world and its scenes, or what is going on that is of a political nature, it looks as if a terrible downfall of civilization has taken place. Look at the wars and loss of lives, and at Greece, for instance, where people are homeless and live under such an austerity program that they have lost the drive to fight for an improvement, and in India the farmers are committing suicide. The world appears to be in a terrible state, and it is the result of the agenda of the elite and Illuminati. However, great progress is transpiring in terms of spirituality, and this relates to ascension to the fifth dimension as far as perceptions and the mindset are concerned. And that is due to the work of the people whom we call the light workers. In general, the light bearers, those who possess the thread to the divine heart, those who are part of mankind or humanity, have progressed, but are in a situation of indoctrination by the systems of the dark forces, the same that have created these systems for the purpose of control for the need of their agenda. They have created conditions that appear as if all hell has broken loose, and from that point of view, a great destruction has befallen upon the inhabitants of this world. However, on the inside, or from the esoteric point of view, as well as the spiritual aspect, the people have been accelerated upon the path of ascension as never before. Hence we have made an appeal to the heart of God in the great central sun and to the highest councils to remove the threat represented by the prophesied red coquina of the Indian prophecies, which also is the celestial body of the 100-year-old prophecy of Fatima, that was to bring doom in 2017 if it collided with Earth, and it was Archangel Michael who made the application and request for a dispensation to deflect the trajectory of this messenger of death. It was at that time that a plan was drawn to enter the Stargate and diffuse the light of the photon belt in a way that would further activate the stripping of the veils, as well as cause the awakening of the people, and accelerate evolution for them to be anchored upon the fifth dimension. But this relates to the conscious self that integrates Christ consciousness under the guidance of the higher self who is superconscious and works with the I Am presence. Upon that level attainment has taken place. However, the people have not been able to manifest a kingdom around them that corresponds to their spiritual attainment because of the control exercised upon their external world and systems. This is a problem which is going to be receiving solutions as we, the archangels and all other helpers sent from the higher realms and the great central sun, are working on the removal of the dark forces' interferences. These dark ones use psychotronic technology to affect the mind of the people, but you have been protected from the malintent that is their purpose. You have but 2 months left during which you may still be affected by the psychic Armageddon taking place as a result of the battle of opposition against the establishment. It is necessary to have that battle waged, as it is a setup through which the Illuminati forces pull the strings of their temporal powers. The Indian prophecies mention a time of purification, and it is precisely what is taking place at the moment. So you see, dear ones, what counts is the inner life of the soul. We shall, however, lead mankind upon a path of prosperity and restoration to culminate with a recreation of Gaia. Civilization will be glorious as it was in the Lemurian era, but better. It will represent the manifestation of Saint Germain's great golden age. This will be the result of hard work in the period of transition which starts after the American nation has voted for a new president, after the votes have been cast, and the outcome will be dictated by the divine will and the power of mighty victory. The words that are being spoken in this battle of the elections are food for thought and lead to an enlightenment by the means of disclosure. You may witness a change when the mainstream media switches its views to a position which is more awakened. By December the media may be alerted to the passing of the harbinger of doom when it becomes alarmingly visible. Then some people will fall to their knees and some will seek to escape the catastrophe copies of the prophecy which they chose to keep secret. The Vatican had promised to make them known to the world by 1960, but did not. Finally the messages were leaked. My statement and my announcement today, therefore, beloved ones of the Earth chain, is that the celestial body that was on a trajectory of collision with the Earth has been deflected. Galactic ships were used, as well as tractor beams, to cause a change to this object's trajectory, and I now confirm, that, at the great relief of all of heaven and of all of us here upon the higher realms, you will be safe and secure, and that this celestial object will pass you by without causing any damage of science fiction proportion. As you know, you will be experiencing a shift relating to the raising up of your world to a higher vibration. By the end of this year, the gap between you and what you call heaven will then be reduced, and it will make possible the encounters of the higher kind that you have been looking forward to. Please spread the word that the prophecy of Fatima concerning a comet, as well as that of the red cocaina, was a warning, and that this celestial body will now pass you by upon a trajectory that has been altered by the forces of the light. I am confirming it now, and I will continue to place my electronic presence with you to quicken you, with my angels of the sixth ray, by multiplying by the power of 10 the energies that you invoke for the turning of this world. And the servants of darkness will be bound, and the planetary body will be swept clean for the dawn of a new day, bringing to you enlightenment. I am Archangel Uriel of the Great Central Sun.
Christine, thank you Archangel Uriel.